Alright, welcome back everyone, and we're going to have a bit of a bonus update now. I'm still Evil Tim, and this is Killzone. No, it's not, actually. Do you might notice that Killzone, which is a port of a PS2 game, has an XMB background. Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, which is a demo, has an XMB background. Yes, don't look at the date. And Sign More, a game made by three men who live in a cupboard in Hungary, has an XMB background. On the other hand, 007 Legends, a AAA game made by a company with more money than God, does not, and for that matter, neither does GoldenEye Reloaded. And that might tell you a little something about this game. Meanwhile, here are Activision to impress us with their fish AI, hooray! And here are Eurocom to impress us with their continued non-existence. This is Eurocom from beyond the grave, as it were. Meanwhile, let's zoom out of this line, because we can't live in there, that would be despicable. So, here he is. Fuck it, you're on your own. Right, yeah, so he's deserted us, and Activision makes no guarantee regarding the availability of online play or features. This game actually isn't available online anymore. It was pulled down from Steam, Xbox Live, and it was pulled down from PSN just after I got this copy, so you can now only get physical copies of this game. Meanwhile, Daniel Craig is going to shoot us, but he forgot to bring his Bond theme along, and so he has been defeated. How can you screw this up so many times? I guess they might have done this so they didn't have to pay licensing fees for the Bond theme or something, but it's still pretty weak, especially since GoldenEye, the original GoldenEye, got it right first time. Never mind that. So this is a game that screws up the idea of nostalgia. They seem to think that the idea is basically to stamp the entire Bond series flat and put it under the aegis of Daniel Craig, as it were. But really, you know, if you want to play a game where you're doing, like, old Bond stuff, you should probably have got the old Bonds as a first order of business rather than trying to present it as if they never existed at all. So as it turns out, Daniel Craig, in between two of his current movies, Goldfinger, On Her Majesty's Secret Service, License to Kill, Die Another Day, and Moonraker, all happened between Quantum of Solace and Skyfall. In the space of about a month. It's very silly. So, we can choose our health system. You can actually have the classic health system on every skill level this time, but we're going to do it on 007. And I'm going to be doing all of the trials for this one level. I'm probably not going to do more than this level, but... now you might notice all this artifacting here, that's actually in the original game, even if you put it through an HDMI cable. So this is actually a pre-rendered cutscene, and pre-rendered at a very low resolution as well. Okay, now she's got the wrong weapon here. She's supposed to have a thing called an Olympic Arms K-23B Tactical, but she's got a sniper rifle. I hit Patrice. Yeah, they've got an M4 in this, so you'd think they would just use that, but no, apparently not. So yeah, so he's going to shoot Daniel Craig up the arse. I thought the bullet would have gone through and hit Patrice. We just saw that. I planned all of that. Thud. Okay, that's going to be a very short game. Now, as it turns out that when in Skyfall, Daniel Craig fell into the river of life, as it were, he actually hallucinated his lifetime in the form of a mediocre first-person shooter. Oh, yes, yeah, I remember this part. Yes, if you look to the left, you'll be able to see the sorrow. No, hold on, wait. That's a good game. Well, it seems inevitable since both of you are played by Timothy Watson. Yeah, they couldn't even get Daniel Craig on board for this, I guess because he was busy filming the actual film, so instead a guy called Timothy Watson subs in for him and also plays Goldfinger. Oh, I knew I should never have drunk the entire bottle of Pepsi. Oh. Alright, so yes, we start off as we mean to go on in a drunken stupor, and then we find ourselves in this surprisingly neat-looking area, as it were. Now, apparently out there is the beach, which the first proper level from Metal Gear Peace Walker takes place on, but I don't think we care about that, because Big Boss is probably out there being awesome, and that would only interfere with our abilities to be crap. So, we can use the analog sticks, thanks for telling us that game. I had never been aware of those things. Meanwhile, oh my god, my phone. No, hang on, wait. There's probably something else important here that you're missing, Daniel. Alright, so you want to get a Sony Xperia phone? I feel a strange and sudden urge to.
Did you learn anything from Goldfinger's assistant?
I got some great body painting tips.
He must have gotten wind of our investigation.
Yeah, we had a fantastic evening dry humping each other with our underwear on.
I want you on the next flight to his headquarters in Switzerland.
I'm on my way.
But we know how to smuggle all of the gold out of England. All you have to do is make Gordon Brown the Chancellor. Yeah, I went there. Right, okay, so the list of movies in this is kind of stupid as well. I mean, you'd think that You Only Live Twice would be a better Connery than Goldfinger, simply because it's more fighterly. And Living Daylights would probably be better than License to Kill as well. Spy Who Loved Me would probably be better than Moonraker, since nobody wants to remember Moonraker anyway. And this is like a list of films where you can't possibly like all of them, because, yes, okay, some people like OHMSS because it's actually like a spy film, but how many of those people also like Moonraker, and how many of anyone likes Die Another Day? Is that really what we want to remember? For that matter, do we really want to remember Kerry Lowell when she's 51 and old enough to be Pam Bouvier's mother? I don't know, it's really rather silly. I don't think they thought this through at all. It seems more like they just pieced it together from what they could get. Here are some diamonds, they're not forever, because that isn't in here either. I've got Toby Stevens back as Gustav Graves, and he manages to actually overact while sounding bored in this one, which is almost zen. Never mind, there's a spirally thing here. Maybe it's DNA, it's the secret superior soldier genes of Big Boss or something. Meanwhile, here are some boobs, just to assure you that this actually is somehow a Bond theme start, but it's not, so who cares. In addition to a pistol, we can carry 2 other weapons. That's good to know. That's actually a new thing for this. You've got a dedicated pistol slot and you can swap it out rather than being stuck with the P99.
We need proof Goldfinger is smuggling gold out of the UK.
How about his name?
Evidence we can use to arrest him and get out.
Right, so be stealthy. Let us see how Daniel Craig does this. Meanwhile, here is a Harrier. Right, so how is Daniel Craig going to stealth his way into this stealth facility? Well, let's see. Maybe it will be this handheld GoldenEye satellite. Don't think we'll be allowed to do that in the game. Yeah, so he's put that out of control there, and that is going to go down where this will conveniently explode just before it lands, so I guess it was going to do that anyway, and the crash was just inconveniencing it. So we can jump onto this machinery here now, and then go over here, and... Wasn't James Bond supposed to be a secret agent? Who knows. Anyway, so now all of these Harriers are going to explode. I decided to do that for no reason, probably because I was trying to take the suppressor off there. I don't know why he put it on after he did that particular subtle thing, but never mind. We've got ourselves a Stargy UA-1 here. They've changed all the models for this, and there's a weird little script here. If we just jump down here, that will go over there, which it won't normally do, and I'm not really sure what that's in aid of. That's how you learn to crouch, you see, otherwise it won't tell you, and then we can go up there, but there's a bridge over there anyway, so we didn't have to do that. I'm not really entirely sure what this is in aid of. So yes, we've got that silly pop-up cover system again now, and we can peek and aim over cover. I'm going to peek and aim at you. Deliciously nutty, sir. Right, so in this level you've got a bunch of trials. There is an experience system now, you see, and I'm going to be getting all of the trials in this level, which means that one of them is accuracy, so I'm going to have to watch where I shoot at people. It's not really that hard to do, but never mind that. Let's deal with this guy over here. He's trying to shoot us with his Tokarev, and that's bad of him. You, sir, you're a meanster, and I'm going to destroy you. Right, so this game relies on the fact that you know something about the Harriers being decommissioned, but not much. So yeah, there we go, we just got rid of the P99. The only advantage of the P99 is with the other weapons that have suppressors, you can't take them on and off at will. This has still got a 20-round magazine in it, but it's still got 40 rounds, which is kind of silly, and we've got ourselves some horrible fiery effectors here. That's not good at all. So yes, the Harriers were decommissioned recently in England, and the game relies on you knowing that, but not that they were sold to the US Marine Corps for spare parts. Otherwise, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. Not that it does anyway. So let's go through here. That man was trying to shrug his way through there, but then his fart exploded, and that got him through like a shot. Right, so that's a bonus target. We can shoot those and we'll get a bonus or something, perhaps. That's not the level trial target. Also, check out these atrocious rain effects. That's fantastic. I'm going to blame you for all of the things that happen in this game from now on. Your death will only be the beginning. You'll be sent to Purgatory, which is the testing department for all Activision games. So, you, sir, I'm going to blast you with my blast, and then I'm going to reload that and flip that over there. So, we've got more of these dudes who are trying to show us all of their hiding behind things chicanery, and also trying to figure out precisely why a spy is so hopeless at spying. So, over here is one of the level trial targets. That's a better type of target than the bonus target, because you've got to shoot it to get the level trial. That's great. So, we've done that, and now look at this rain effect here, as we notice that it's on a cylinder that's just wrapped around us. Look, it's going through the wall. And if you look up a bit here, it also isn't very tall, as it seems, because you can see the top of it. That's marvellous. So, now we've seen all of that. Let's go in through this hole that we tore in the side of the facility, and then eventually they stop suspecting us, because they decide to have a stealth section after our amazingly subtle entrance. Fantastic.
For any items of interest that may provide valuable intelligence.
Okay, so there's intels in this, and they actually give you intel, unlike in those Call of Duty games where they usually don't. Once again, it's a save file for GoldenEye, so let's pick that up. That's an Auric Enterprises intel part, which we have collected, so we can actually have a look at that in our pause menu thing. There we go, it tells us about Switzerland. That's great. These contain the phrase, little is known, a surprising amount. They sort of try to rival Turok 2 in that manner. Okay, so we've got ourselves our first weapon with mods on it there, and we can pick up one of these MP7s, and that's got itself a scope, and that's much better. So we'll shoot that, and that will take 1,000 years to put out this here fire, you see. The Tokarev we just picked up actually has an illegal combination of mods on it, which is fantastic considering it's the one that introduces you to the whole idea of mods. Okay, so you can press this to open the smart wall and access the upgrade shop. I'm not sure, is this smart wall one of those things you kids have these days? Who knows. Right, let's have a look at the upgrade shop then. Well, you can upgrade weapons this time. It's not very well implemented though, not at all. So you got three different areas. You can put things on the grip type area, the receiver or whatever. There's a scope area and the barrel area. You can buy things for each area, but the problem is with this system is the game doesn't actually tell you what things these things will fit on, so the only way to figure out if you're wasting your money or not is to bring it here and test it. That variable zoom scope for the SMG, that might sound fantastic, right? Yeah, the joke's on you if you buy it, it's for the Moonraker laser. So, yeah. It's not a very good or a very well implemented system, and since you can't pick weapons in the levels, it's kind of stupid. It's like the rapid fire thing only works for certain weapons. You might think that buying a silencer for your sniper rifles is a good idea, but almost every sniper rifle in the game already has a silencer on it, so that's just a waste of money and time and bacon. Meanwhile, you got ourselves some stuff here, but we don't have the thing that actually fires them. All that's for free. And you've got training here, which you can apparently access through your smart wall, whatever that is. You might consider these things to be perks, as it were. So, since there's a health boost and a regen boost, we're going to be getting those things, and we will actuate them. That will allow us to get further through the machinations of these bad people. So anyway, now we're in a new area, so let's do what we do in every new area. Shoot people! We'll do that with our MP5ing machine here, which for some reason now has an M4 stock on it. I'm not really sure what the story behind that is. I guess it's just some gratuitous difference or other. You'll see what's going on over there in a minute, but firstly we've got to shoot a load of dudes. You're going to be shot and we'll explode your thing as well. That was a double death for you, sir. Oh, that's still that stupid thing going on in the background. This here is my favourite weapon is my favourite shotgun in GoldenEye Reloaded, the P99 Interdictus. It's a Remington 870, which for some reason they've stuck the forend of a Keltec KSG on in this game. That's not really very sensible, and so they must be revengified. You, sir, that's your fault. You did that thing with the Keltec KSG. So I'm going to put some more rounds in there, and then I'm going to do for you and all of your friends. You have already been done for. I was very proactive about that. But anyway, there's a guy flashing on our radar here. They've used the Wii version's radar system, which along with a bunch of the other stuff they've done, and makes the stealth sections from this basically just a matter of figuring out exactly what order they want you to kill people in. It's not quite a Simon Says section, but it's almost as bad. So we shot another trial target there, and there's another trial target in this same immediate area, placed cruelly on the bottom of this platform where you would never look for it. So there's MI6 crates in these areas. These are the places where you can actually upgrade all your weapons, you see. You can't do it from the smart wall, you have to find one of these bloody things and haul the weapon you want to it, in order to discover that it in fact cannot accept the upgrade you want to put on it. So, we can buy things here as well, but we don't have any money. You could get the thermal scope for the sniper rifle, but it's practically useless, so we won't do that. Instead, we will stick a suppressor on our Tokarev, that we may suppress people with it. This is actually a pretty good weapon. As you see here, we've got the underbarrel, we've got the high-capacity magazine, and we've got the laser pointer, which you can't normally do. It's illegal to put more than one thing on the same anchorage point. There's a lot of glitches with this system later. In fact, you get a couple of things which have upgrades on them which are invisible later, but we will probably not be seeing that, and if we do see it, it won't be for a while. So, you, sir. Another thing you might notice here is that a load of the enemies have decided to take the martyrdom perk. About half of them will drop grenades when you kill them up close, which is silly of them and doesn't help in the slightest. Why? Because I know of their tricks. trickery. I've documented it in my book, you see. It's a book about Korean treachery, which will be on sale in all good bookstores and most really bad bookstores. But anyway, let's load that up and carry on. Our phone is nucleating at us, but we'll find out what the story of that is once we finish destroying all of these fellows who are trying to shoot us. Because that wouldn't do. That's not where I live on the spectrum of life, you see. So, what do we got down here? We've got a guy who's coming up there. You, sir, I'm going to subject you to silly shotgun physics. Right, so what the hell's going on here then? Well, as it turns out, I suppose they flew all of the Harriers in full working condition, as we'll see later, to Goldfinger's estate over here. They are now dismantling them using this strange contraption which seems to be an awfully large waste of time. You know, you would think that the British military would dismantle these things themselves rather than selling it to this unbelievably large facility which apparently exists solely for this purpose. But I suppose not, and I guess there's magnets in that conveyor or something, who knows. It's all a bit stupid, but we have to sabotage that process, so I guess all of the Harriers will not be disposed of at all. The game is very much on the fence about whether it wants you to have seen the movies in question or not. It really doesn't explain enough for these plots to stand on their own, but it changes enough that you can't really use the movies as guides either. Oh look, we gotta hack something. Okay, so we can use our smartphone for that. We have the photography thing, which allows you to zoom in and out, and we got various smartphone filters we can switch through as well. This one is the electronical hacking filter, which allows us to... Seriously, what is he supposed to be doing here? But yeah, what you got to do is press the L2 and R2 buttons to try and line those things up, and they will go up if you do that. Also, we just picked up a USB thumb drive over there, which is practically impossible to see, and you really have to be combing the area. So let's use that. It's been aborted, but Bond is not pro-abortion, so he's going to have to type things in there and start error 18, which he approves of more. That is, of course, the cut a hole in the thing error. Seems a very specific error, but never mind. You, sir, stop doing that, it's bad. Alright, so now we'll load that back up again, and then we will go through here and subject more men to our silly shotgun physics. You, sir, you need silly shotgun physics. You need it more, though. You were first in line. Yes, that's probably the only thing that's good about this game is the shotguns. And when the only thing good in a game is the shotguns, it's mediocre. That's what. But anyway, we're going to make our way through that hole that we have cut in there, which will never stop glowing because of physics, so we'll have to go up there and kill that guy first, because I say leave no man behind. I don't understand that phrase in the slightest, it seems, but I am very much into it. So, you two there. What are you doing? Stop being there, that's bad of you. Meanwhile, this guy here was also trying things, but he must now flop down there and land upon his head. So the bad guys in the original movie were Chinese, but they've decided to change that to Koreans in this. You know, as if this game was going to sell anywhere, let alone in China. But okay, so they're scribbling all over that now, and they're going to tell us how to jump even though we don't need to, and then they're going to tell us to sprint even though we don't need to. This is a great deal of unnecessary tutorials here. And now they've apparently forgotten we're here, so there is now a stealth section. Wouldn't it have been better to put the stealth section, like, out there, and then have the combat?
Or unaware of your presence, you can pass them by using stealth techniques.
It's time for a Daniel Craiging lesson, my people, so let's view the stealth tutorial. Here we go.
The white marker indicates that the enemy is becoming suspicious. If an enemy notices something suspicious, they will move to investigate it. A red marker indicates that the enemy...
Oh my god, it's Daniel Craig, bang.
Enemies will react to any noises you make.
Daniel Craig.
Remain as quiet as you can to avoid attracting attention.
Daniel Craig. Oh no!
When your enemies are preoccupied or unaware of your presence,
You said that.
pass them by using stealth techniques. Remain out of sight.
Where is Daniel Craig? We must find Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig.
Use a silenced
Bang.
weapon when engaging the enemy to maintain your cover.
Bang. Ow.
Use shadows.
He didn't do
to
it
your
fast enough.
advantage. It will take
Daniel
longer for an enemy to identify you when you're in shadow.
Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig.
For a more direct approach, engage your enemies.
Yes, you can
direct
fuck up
from-
stealth and kill people.
Make sure you have adequate firepower and ammunition. Loud gunfire and explosions will alert the enemy.
So wait, you're telling me I can shoot people with guns in a first-person shooter?
Bonds
The innovation.
of eliminated or subdued enemies will remain wherever they fall.
You, sir, now you are
They can be
subdued.
seen
Ow.
by other enemies. An enemy will
What?
become suspicious if they see a body. They
This
will
man has been
investigate.
Daniel
When they
Craiged.
get close, the body will
Craig
set
alarm,
off an
Craig
alarm.
alarm, Craig alarm.
If a camera operator sees the body, they will also set off
I'm
the
a
alarm.
camera operator.
When
I'm not just a
eliminating
camera. Ow.
an enemy, try to do it in a location where the body won't be
What?
noticed.
Craig alarm, Craig alarm, Craig alarm. Okay, so that is all of the lessons which we may now ignore, because it doesn't matter in the slightest. What you actually have to do in these stealth sections is you have to figure out the precise order it wants you to take the enemies out in, or you'll fail. Every stealth section also has one of these at the start, just in case you don't have one. Okay, so... oh, yeah, that's fantastic. Right. Even if you're playing this on a real screen rather than just watching it on YouTube, that thing is so cramped and so full of different information that there is really no way to use it. Basically, the red dots are enemies. All the other stuff is just stuff that you can affect with the watch lasery thing. So anyway, let's throw that away and get this out, because we want more snipingtons and less silliness. Anyway, so we're going to get this bonus target here. I'm not actually sure if I did screw this up in my first run at it or not, but anyway, let's skip over the stealth tutorial there. Basically, what happened was the alarm went off right at the end, but no reinforcements showed up, so I don't know. Maybe I did it right, but that's why there'll be a little discontinuity between the levels I'm getting here. That's another XP challenge completed there, you see, because that's a really easy one to get all the way up. I think they have like 5 or 6 levels each, and they're for things like getting kills and doing a variety of deeds and such. It's what all the cool kids are doing now, so yes, we've killed that already. I had to come back there later and check it again, but we killed it the first time, so that was unnecessary of me. And meanwhile, let's take care of this guy before he goes out there and causes a scene, and then we can go through here and check out this washing machine. That's not a washing machine, you silly boy. So, what the hell is going on in this room? Well, the game never really bothers to tell you, but what's actually going on here is that they're melting down the plane fuselages, but they're also melting down the engines. It turns out that the engines have been made out of solid gold. Yeah, there is only enough gold to make like a block the size of a 2-story house in the world, so I guess that Goldfinger has almost all of it here. And so what you do in a minute is you have to switch the things over so it starts dropping the airplane fuselages into the gold vat, which actually does mean that every part of the engine is gold, even though we later see one of these planes flying. Okay, so that man became suspicious, and then he became dead, which is worse than suspicious, for him at least, not for us. So yeah, so then you got to kill this guy under here. Guys who are standing near edges will drop down as a rule. That's why we haven't killed the guy up at the top yet. And the bodies remain now, which makes things a lot worse, because the engine really isn't programmed with that kind of thing in mind, and so it's completely random as to whether guards can see each other's deadnesses or not. And sometimes that guy there will be able to spot the guy over in the corner, sometimes he will never see anything at all. It's all very random and very silly. Meanwhile, more planes are being dumped into the middle bits. You'd think you'd strip out the components rather than destroying the fuselages entirely, but what do I know? You, sir, why are you walking over there? That's not a place where you live, that's a place where he lives, up there. I'm going to send him there later. Meanwhile, these two have come together. Their love will last for centuries, or will it? No, Bond is homophobic, so he will destroy both of them. Right, so that's terrible of him. Now let's nuke this man here, and he doesn't fall over there either. Usually he will fall over into the steel and alert both of the guys downstairs, but they decided that none of them would be doing any of the things they're supposed to today. They were all disobedient to my will, and thus suffered my wrath. A little early, it seems, but never mind. Okay, so watch this thing here rotate around, and then it will go forth into there, where it will live forever. And there goes that one. That's great. So now we can go down here and we can find all of the things that have been lurgulated into this room, all of the concealed contraptions. But firstly, let me show you one of the sillier gimmicks around here. We'll get this guy's what's it first. I want your MP7. I want it because it's got a suppressor on it, and now all of my weapons are silent but deadly. And the fart jokes could be made there, but I am above such things. Anyways, no, that's very useful, thank you. Right, let's find this thing here. It's got a terminal on the side of it. Let us hackulate that. Now, I don't know why you'd ever do this, because you really don't need to, but if you for some reason you're down here and really need a distraction, you can haxify this thing and it will go over there, and cause a distraction right near where you are anyway. It's not really the best thought out mechanic in the world, I'll give it that. Okay, so let's pick up this wallet here, because that's part of Oddjob, it seems. It's one of his biopods. I think he'll be needing those, but I suppose he doesn't think that. We've fooled him, you see. So we can see our submarine objectives if we want to. There they are. They don't really tell you what the sub-objectives actually are, once again, like they did in GoldenEye and GoldenEye Reloaded, so it's just kind of added on and useless. Alright, meanwhile, there's a dossier here. There's another biological part of Oddjob. He's a very strange fellow, you see, and up here, where you wouldn't look, is a trial target, so let's shoot that and then go up here in a redundant fashion, because I've already been here. I know that thing's been destroyed, but I came back here just to be on the safe side, because I am a paranoid lunatic, you see. So anyway, let's go back down here. We need to go and get the last biological part of Oddjob so that we can leave this place and go back to England, where we will find ourselves some cheese, perhaps. Okay, so up here is a lever. We'll pull the lever, but first we've got to get this. And this is Oddjob's hat, of course. If you pick that up there, he'll still have it at the end of the level. Maybe he has two hats. He is just that kind of brigand. He has another hat for his spare head, which he keeps in the fridge. So, let's pull that lever there. Now, if you leave the room immediately, which most people will, you won't find out what you actually did there. It's a bit of a mess. So, what happens now then? Well, we've dropped that into there, and now that's going to squiddle its way out there, and I'm not sure how this one comes back in on the same track, but never mind. Let's watch and see what happens. Oh no, it's going to the wrong thing. You'll hear some speech in a moment, so I'll be quiet. Now, I suppose that people are still meant to be alive when you pull the lever or something, because that really doesn't make sense otherwise. What, is this just some strange voice in it from another dimension, which is speaking to us, I suppose? Never mind that, let's go down here and bugger off out of this room, because it is meaningless to us. We have no such relationship with it, so let's go down here and find out what's going on in this location. So, they're going to throw another opportunity to actually explain what the hell is going on here. We've got to take photographs of these engines you see here, which are made of Gooolllldddd, but you can't really see that because of the glow.
Bond, be on the watch for additional photographic evidence.
Yeah, so basically what we get here is a generic message as opposed to any sort of thing that will tell us what we're taking pictures of. You know, the whole point of an objective like this will be to explain what these are, but I suppose that's...
While we analyze the data, you should check the area for more evidence.
Okay, molten steel, molten gold. They look exactly the same, like in real life, of course. Oh dear, oh dear. Right, anyway, so we've got to check the area for more things, but we don't actually have to do that, and he's lying. So let's go through this door. We've got a Daniel Craig the door open as well. They really were into this L2 plus R2 thing. They clearly thought they were onto something here. Really? That's the take you went with?
Use this function to analyze and track the gas.
Okay, so we can also set our phone into detective vision mode. That will allow the cowl to... No, hold on, wait. Wrong thing, isn't it? Right, so now we're analysing it, and what we have there is nerve gas citation needed. That isn't nerve gas, it looks like a precursor chemical to VX, actually.
Any exposure will kill you.
Okay, I'll just stand in it then. Doing, boing. Yeah, it's not really doing its job. Yeah, it's not very deadly nerve gas at all, is it? And actually later on he pulls out a cylinder that has polydisulfide on it, which isn't nerve gas either. But they just call it Delta 9 in the movie. Why not call it that if you don't want to use a real nerve gas name? Who knows? I guess that stuff is Vespine gas or something. Meanwhile, in the room of recycled geometry from Bunker, let's have a look over here.
I've told you before.
I'm milking my invisible cow.
Goldfinger. If you've got a problem, bring it up with him.
He's not over there. Bring it up with him over there where he isn't. Also, why is it unreasonable for her to want to know the loading weights of the canisters?
But M said,
Negative, Bond.
They really did roast for some really bad takes with him.
Do I make myself clear?
Perfectly. I won't be reckless.
I'll just be stupid. Right, let's kill him, and then we have more dudes over here. You, sir, you're blind, so you have been destroyed, and you are deaf, so you have also been destroyed. It's a good thing that a suppressor makes us sound like a mouse farting, otherwise this would be very unrealistic. So let's have a look in here. Right, now they're going to give us a tutorial on it later, but I'm going to show you it now. Remember all of those electronic symbols there? Well, I'll show you what they do. They allow you to laser things with your laser. Here we go. Now, they actually tell us this is an electromagnetic pulse in the form of a laser, and that's all you can do with it, is to create some sound. It's virtually useless, you almost never need to do it. Now we're carrying a model of a plane, which tells us something about Pussy Galore. I'm not entirely sure what it tells us. Maybe it tells us that she flies planes. Bond is trying to use logic. And yeah, you're really going to see that after all. The hiding of things in these areas is really weird. Okay, so how do we get out of the area of recycled geometry? Well, quite clearly we need to go through this door from a ship. What is this doing here? This building makes no sense. And through this door, of course, which has no equal type in anywhere in the facility, is a completely ordinary door. And there's another completely ordinary door here. Who built this place and why? It doesn't make any sense. But never mind, let's go out on the loading docks, where they are loading docks, you see. What's up, Doc? Well, it's you, isn't it? You're up in a thing.
On to MI6. Goldfinger's got enough.
You might notice it says Universal Exports there. That's Bond in joke.
Hold on. We've just walked into view.
Oh, here's Tweedle, dumbass.
I'm tired of Ling ignoring me. You change the weight of those canisters, my pilots are in danger. The deal is off.
Pussy. My darling pussy.
Remember how Pussy Galore was important in the movie?
He knows what he's doing. Operation Grand Slam will proceed with or without you.
Yeah, Operation Grand Slam will proceed with or without the pilots.
All of you.
Also, how on earth are they going to carry all this nerve gas? What?
That girl. I want to know everything there is to know about Operation Grand Slam.
Will do. Bond out.
It's like, what, is one of the planes in her squadron a C-130?
Bond, you must avoid detection at all cost. If the enemy raises the alarm, you'll fail your mission.
Okay, so welcome to another stupid gimmick mechanic we're not allowed to shoot here, and I really don't know why.
Remain vigilant for other sub-objectives associated with the main mission.
Okay, so basically what you got to do is, it very rarely actually does this, and usually it only does it to piss you off in areas with like 3 or 4 enemies. But yeah, if you can't shoot at all here, and if you get detected, it's instant mission failure, because that's always fun after all. Meanwhile, let's do something else that doesn't make any sense. We've got to place a tracking bug here, and the game will never really tell us even why we're doing that. You, sir, I'm going to beat you up there. If you alert him, you can punch him there, but of course the funniest way is to wait until he's just about to detect you and then punch him in the nuts, but I messed that up, you see. I got a little cowardly. Meanwhile, let's go and have a look in the upgrade shop. Have we got enough money to upgrade the shop yet? No, we haven't. We can't extremely train ourselves yet. So anyway, let's go in here and find out what lives within this place of worlds. Yes, let's interrogate her by looking at her. You.
Can I help you?
I want to know what you're up to with Goldfinger.
Certainly, I don't know why they called her the girl. She is quite clearly not a girl in any sense of the term. It's like she looks like Honor Blackman when she was 39, and her voice actress is Natasha Little, who's 43.
I don't know. I don't know anything about nerve gas.
I don't know anything about not being made out of plastic either.
Operation Grand Slam.
In his office.
Take me there now.
Okay.
Oh, you.
Stay behind me. If anybody asks, I'll do the talking.
Yeah, we'll see how that works out. Okay, meanwhile, she has apparently summoned an elevator using the powers of her mind. So let's wait for her to come on in. Where's your shadow, lady? You're apparently a ghost or demon or something. We'll get some more fucked up shadows later. It will be marvelous. So, up we go in the Jellimagator. Stop looking at me like that. It's scary.
You know so much about me. I just hope you know what you're up against with Gold.
Check out that shadow over there. Look, it's a stepladder.
I bet on him, not you.
Yes, so would I.
I hope you know what you're doing.
You just said that. No, not at all. Right, okay, so let's find out if Bond knows what he's doing by going through here. AE, Auric Enterprises. You, what are you doing?
Who is this?
Oh, this is
This is Punchington. He is my personal McPuncher. Alright, time for another terrible minigame. This is the melee mode. You can use L2 and R2 to dodge enemy attacks, but in practice you don't need to do that. All you got to do is press the stick in the direction indicated. I would have thought that on the hardest difficulty they would have removed the prompts and just had you look at it, but I suppose not. They didn't think of that. And this is how they do boss fights. If you hit them in the wrong thing as there, you will get auto-countered, and all they really do for the harder versions of this is just speed it up. I was trying to do a dodge there, but I don't actually know how, which, considering I've completed this game more than once, should tell you something about how much you actually need to do it. Right, you, sir, I'm going to do this, which I could have done all along. Meanwhile, everyone else in the entire game, you've just melee attacked them once and they die, so he's going to be sent off on a journey. Okay, yes, name's Bond, James McBond. So this is where they actually introduce this to you, but I already know what I'm doing here, so let us alert this man using that.
Remember that you can create a distraction by aiming the laser in your wristwatch at certain kinds of...
What do you mean, remember? You've never told me how to do that. Let's just kill those two men there. He's not getting out of the level that way, my boy. So, we've completed the stealth challenge by not raising an alert. It's still telling us how to use this thing, even though we already know how. And yes, it would have it that this is not a laser, even though it quite clearly is.
...on your smartphone to identify the pattern required to unlock the touch-sensitive key panel.
Okay, so this is another little gimmick they got here, is that you have to look at these, and it's the least to most faded is... sorry, most to least faded is the combination. Never mind that most people will be inputting these so fast that there wouldn't really be any particular difference to it, and also that they would have pressed them more than once. It doesn't really make any sense, but never mind. Let's have a look in this machine here. We can't do anything here yet, but we will be able to shortly, so we will probably be coming back to this in a moment. Meanwhile, I'm going to buy myself Rabid Recovery and Observation, which will allow me to accurately sightify people. You would think that sighting inaccuracy wouldn't be like a thing, but apparently it is. But meanwhile, let's go through this door, and we've got ourselves a primary objective, so that gives us even more points.
Goldfinger may be hiding important items in this room. See if you can find
In his office? Why would he do that? That would be strange of him. Right, so meanwhile we're going to buy ourselves, I believe we're going to buy an Akogari scope for our SMGs we are. That will give us more performances. We're still not going to buy the thermal scope for the sniper rifle because that would be silly. Meanwhile, now you would think that you would earn these by like finding weapons that have them, but you are about to find out something very silly about it. Here we go, we were going to take the suppressor off. Removing it will destroy it? Why don't you just keep it, you idiot? Who knows? But yeah, we're about to come across a violencing section, so we are not going to need suppressingtons. They would only harm our capacities. So we're going to take all of those off so that we can blast people with more efficacity. That's not a word, but never mind. Okay, so switch the smartphone's biometric filter to look for wank stains, and we can identify areas of interest by that. Except that I messed that up. You're supposed to use the same button to scan it as you are to activate it, you see. Anyway, so let's look at this, and that will tell us that this belongs to Goldfinger. There we go. So that's great. That means that Goldfinger has been touching things to operate his safe. Now, usually there's one here by the sink as well, but it seems to have vanished. I'm not sure where that went. It probably devolved into a realm of dishonesty and cheating, but never mind that. We found a Pussy Galore biopart there, and that unlocks a bonus character. So I could play this in multiplayer if I felt so inclined, and if it's even possible anymore, who knows. So we got some more of this strange color matching thing, which we do with the power of Daniel's mind, it seems, and we've got ourselves the Auric Enterprises intelligence parts for that, you see. Meanwhile, here is Goldfinger's antique cellular phone, which we can pick up and stuff into our collection of useless things, and here's a tail fin from a Harrier. So, the other thing about this mechanic they've got here is that the codes are always the same, so once you've done it once, you can just write it down like I did here. And there is the Smithell Wessington, which is, of course, a reference to the golden gun that he had in the original book, you see. It's Goldfinger's sidearm. I believe in the book it was a single action army. I would have to look that up. Meanwhile, you can see that there is something under the pool table, and the game expects me to die, and I expected me to die too, actually, but yes, there we go. Little is known of this mysterious and ancient vessel. No, wait, that's something else. So you can pause the game if you want to look at any of this nonsense, but none of this is particularly interesting, so I suggest you ignore every aspect of it. There we go. So he's got operations in China, the United Kingdom twice, and Kentucky. That's Ken Cheesington's brother, you see. So let's pull this panel off here, and we have found a security electronic fire-resistant safe. Now, they tell you how to manipulate this, but they don't actually tell you what they want you to do with it, so it's kind of strange. And you'd think with a safe-cracking minigame that you're supposed to, like, rotate this until it clicks or something. It's a case of you assuming the game is smarter than it actually is, and it actually took me a fair while to do the first one of these as a result. What they actually want you to do is just match these up, but what the hell does that mean? What is that? It doesn't really make any sense. And you'd think if they were doing movie references that he'd have that like really cool X-ray safe-cracking device that he has in Moonraker at least, but I suppose not. Meanwhile, giant silly key fob and dimethyl polysulfide, which isn't anything.
I swear I didn't know about the nerve gas.
This isn't the nerve gas.
Knock the soldiers out.
Why has he got a big cylinder of nerve gas in his own office?
Soldiers. Where?
The United States. Kentucky. That's all I know.
Yes, where could they possibly be going in Kentucky? So let's press his car keys here, and that will...
Fort Knox.
His complicated plan of going in through the front entrance. Genius. You mean, of course, Fort Knox. Shut up. Okay, so, yeah, do you remember when terrorism was a white guy trying to blow up Fort Knox? Those were the days. Meanwhile, here he is, this said white guy in question.
Thank God you're here. He forced me to bring him up to your office.
Yes, I saw.
I saw using my invisible security
Meet again,
cameras.
Mr. Bond. I thought you would have taken the hint in Miami.
Sorry, that was not really a playable section. You didn't give me any hint.
I'll deal with you later. You'll deal with Bond now.
Yeah, so he's still got his hat, even though we've also got his hat, so I guess we can have a duel now. But no, we have a QTE now. And I'll point out I was actually looking at a magazine when I did this, because it's always the same button prompt, so here we go, yeah, that's fantastic. Alright, so meanwhile we've got to run over here and leap over the desk, and don't kick the bowler hat off there or anything, that would be silly. So we land on here, and somehow he teleports over here and has his hat again, but we have dodged that as well. It's just L1 twice, it's not difficult. Meanwhile, a series of impossible things are going to happen, which will probably break our legs at least twice, and now we're down in the lobby and it's time to shoot a bunch of people, because that's how the world works, don't you know? So here we go, we've got our snipingtons here, and we've got people shooting at us. It's all go in this realm, so let's shoot him in the Croglies that he may not reproduce. Let's kill this guy off here as well. He's trying to shoot us from behind a plant. He's a man of the jungle, but we are a man of science, and guns are made of science, and so that's better. Anyway, so we got ourselves that, but we're not going to be using that very much. We're going to switch out things for shotguns later. You, sir, get out of it. You don't live in it anymore. I've seen you. You've been evicted. So, we can hold L3 to steady our aim, but we don't need to do that. They've added a lot more scope wobblies into this one, because they hate us, you see. Meanwhile, there's the last of the trial targets. Let's shoot that, and we have won at everything now. We have completed all of the level's goals that it has set for us, except for not missing more things, which we'll have to do as we make our escape here. It won't be a very good escape, mind you, because they have to do the whole no Mr. Bond, I expect you to die section, because that, of course, works out as great gameplay. I don't know. You know, you remember when you were watching that and you just thought, yeah, I really wish I could play that section. No, me neither. Anyway, yes, that's what I've been doing since I was a child, is wishing that I could play a section in a video game where I was strapped to a table and couldn't do anything. It's just like this bit, in fact. You, sir, stop firing at me from behind those plants. I haven't got the ability to sight you see. And you might be saying, Tim, the thermal scope would probably help you here. Yeah, well, the thermal scope doesn't really have any zoom to it, though, which makes it a bit futile in terms of snipage. You, get out of it. I'm not having that silly boxing minigame with you. You're not my friend at all. Right, so let's load this thing up here. This is an evil gun. It fires crime at people. So that should allow us to make further our escape upon these dastardlies who are trying to do everything wrong to us that there exists in the world. Right, so we can load this thing back up here, and then we can make our way out. We'll pick that up there, which we can't look at, and then we will make our way over here. Look at that stepped shadow over there. That's terrible. And the one at this end of the hall doesn't have it either. I guess they must have managed to screw up their radiosity calculations in only one direction. It's like sort of talent in a way, but only in the inverse sense. Anyway, you, sir, stop hiding behind all of that shrubbery. Don't you realize that makes it difficult for me to kill you, and that's what I'm here for. If you know what your role is in life, you'll help me do it so I can get out. But they don't know what their role is in life. They keep trying to do the shootings to us, even though it is quite clear in the rules that there is no unauthorized shooting of the protagonist. You, sir, that's not going to help you, it's going to help me. Right, so now that we've done all of that, we have killed everyone and we can make our way out of here. But first, let's have a look up here. There it is. Check out that shadow. It's fantastic. Put some more subdivisions in that wall when you render it next time, you foolish lot. Right, so what's in here then? Well, nothing. I suppose this is a multiplayer level because there's this whole area off to this side which you can get into but doesn't do anything and has horrible fakey reflections. You also can't go through that gap there even though you clearly can. You can't smash that even though it's glass. It's not really a particularly good amount of logic in this level design, really. You'd think that level design would have progressed beyond such behaviours, but I suppose not. There we go, then there's our Remington 870 with all of its extra bits stuck on it, but we don't care about that because we've got full ammunition already. So let's go out here and see what's going on. Bond runs like a man would, like a T-1000 would in fact, gets into his car, which is apparently parked here the whole time, and has zero peripheral vision. You're not very good at this, are you? Where exactly do you want me to drive you to, anyway?
Fasten your seatbelt.
And how did you get here? Okay, so in our series of impossible actions, let's at least actually use a gadget this time. Yeah, don't let me control it while that's happening or anything. I don't want to use the gadgets, he can. Oh look, you see, they can fly with golden engines, and apparently they were exploded with missiles too. Oh no, I'll just overact at that to hide the fact it didn't hit my car at all. Great, good stuff, fantastic gameplay design here. Meanwhile, let's wake up and find ourselves strapped to a slab of... You know, the thing about gold, the big thing, is that it is gold. What we have here, if it has a name, is some... green. Meanwhile, GLaDOS' crap sister is trying to erase us from existence, and I can't really blame it either.
This is gold, Mr. Bond.
No, it isn't for reasons
All
previously
my life
specified.
I've been in love with its color, its brilliance,
Yeah,
its divine heaviness.
You'd think they would have looked at this and said, wait.
Thank you for the demonstration.
I work
Yeah, Timothy Watson
in
isn't really very good at
to
sounding concerned here.
increase the value of my holdings. And I do not intend to let you or MI6 interfere with me.
I say. Oh, but I was going to interfere with you really gently, you know. You'd like it.
No, Mr. Bond. I expect you to die.
Yeah, don't read it with any enthusiasm, will you?
You're forgetting one
You
thing.
wrote it.
If I don't call in, MI6 will send 008 to replace me.
You're forgetting one thing. I'm about to fall asleep. Meanwhile, someone's smoking a cigarette between his legs by the looks of things. Oh no. Oh, check out my awful shadow. This is kind of funny, is that even in the original movie here, that
Which cannot possibly have any significance to you or anyone in your organization.
Bond basically fails at everything he tries to do in Goldfinger, and the only thing he successfully does is to convince Goldfinger he's slightly less of a failure than he actually is. I think it's supposed to be cutting it rather than just leaving a glowing line. Okay, so yes, the gold-cutting lasering contraption goes away now. It's been defeated. However, dun dun dun, here's a man with a syringe. It's got Kool-Aid in it. That would give us poisonings of some sort. Don't press it down or anything. Oh. I guess that's the cliffhanger for this level. Now, the next level you get the attack on Fort Knox itself, which as it turns out was a lot more like D-Day than you'd expect it to be. Here we have done everything, and that is our success visited upon us. There we go, we have everything or nothing. They've got a lot of Bond references in this, you see. So that just means we've got everything. So now we have finished that. There probably won't be much more of this. I have been Evil Tim, and that has been a Boniusal updatal McThing contraption. So you will all go off and have a good time and great lives, yes.